Hey, Brandon here, and today we are going to be looking at project management building blocks inside of a Google Doc. So if you're not familiar with building blocks in Google Docs, Google recently added I'd think about them as templates or starter material to insert tables into Google Documents that allow you to do things like attach files, assign documents, make task assignments to projects and teams, and use drop downs, right? So to find them, you go to Insert, Building Blocks, and the project management ones we're going to focus on today are right here. The Product Roadmap, Review Tracker, Project Assets, and the Launch Content Tracker. So I already went ahead and preloaded them just so you can see what the elements are. The top one, product roadmap, you've got project status, and you'll see that these are examples here that are already preloaded with not started, in progress, and launched. This dropdown can be modified. If you click on the edit function, you can change the title, you can change what the drop-down options are, you can add your own color scheme to that, and so you can modify that. In the project, we'll just call it a title, right? Under related files, this is a really great feature if you haven't been familiar with this yet, of being able to add document links into a Google Doc. So you just start typing at, and then you want to just type in the title of the document. So we'll do on edit. Okay, that brings up a spreadsheet that I was working on for certain certification notifications. And it inserts the link, and it even has a little icon that lets you know it's a sheet or a doc. If you hover over it, it will actually bring up a small preview pane so you can see the document. And then notes, which are notes you can type, obviously. Underneath that, you'll see the example of the review tracker. So the review tracker has a little different setup. It's got a reviewer, right? So think of that like an action officer. And again, when you combine it with Smartships, this becomes really powerful. So in this case, if I want to add, I'll add my personal email address there. You'll see that if I added somebody that's not already in the document, it'll break out and it'll give me the option to actually share this document with that person. So you just type the @ symbol and then start typing their name, and it uses contacts to pre-fill that and then can walk you through that share prompt. So I am going to share this, and we will go ahead and change that to editor. There we go. Okay. So you can also add multiple people. So if you needed to add additional, same thing here with the drop down as before, you can click on that to add or edit options and then click notes. Now, I do see one thing here that's kind of missing, right? If you've got a status, if you've got a reviewer and you've got notes, maybe you actually want to assign like a due date for that. Well, these tables are modifiable. So if I come in here to notes and I just go ahead and right click on that, you'll be able to see that I can insert a column to the left. So let's do that. Let's type in due date. And then we can use the @ symbol again to be able to interact with a calendar date. So in this case, I'm going to type @ symbol, and I'm going to say that this one's due on May 30th. So if I type in the month and then the day, it starts to pre-populate so I can make that selection. And then I can obviously add in notes. So now I've got a file name, right? So I've got the @ on edit. There we are. Short description. And I've got status. Now again, these are really good out of the box because it's just a list of files or assets that you want to track. But maybe in this case, I want to insert a column to the right and I want to say what the task is maybe. So if you type in the @ symbol, same as we start everything else, you'll see that there's an option here to select task. So if I select task, I can say, this would be finalize this document by end of May. I can then do an assignee. So in this case, I'm just going to assign it to myself. And since it's the end of May, I actually just want to remind myself on that Monday right before the end of May. And so I can click Assign as Task. So you'll see that it actually added a picture of me with the checkbox and the task into that column. So you can use this to make assignments to other people. You can use it just as a task list for yourself, but it gives you a lot of flexibility in order to be able to start to use these tools in some different ways. The last one we actually have is a content tracker. I love this one because I work a lot with social, or I'm posting videos to YouTube. And here, same thing. Type of post that you're making, description, publish date. Oftentimes, if I'm using notes or a document, I'll insert a column for notes or documents, and then be able to track published content, which play outlet that you're actually posting to. Sometimes I actually do insert a drop down. Let's do that here. So if I go to insert, I type in the @ symbol, and then that brings up the menu. I can insert the drop down. I can do a new drop down, and I can just say, if I could type, I would do outlet, and then I could say Facebook, Twitter. You get the idea. So this gives the option of having a drop down, adding a drop down directly into that. So I hope that helps. There are a lot of really cool things that are coming with building blocks and being able to use those smart chips. And yeah, some super, super powerful stuff. The one thing that I forgot to mention though is a cool thing when you do add somebody in and you tag them in the document. If you hover over their name, kind of like with the sheet or the insert to the link where you get the preview, if you hover over this, it actually shows you that you can email, chat, or start a video call with them directly from there. So yeah, it's all about just saving, little seconds here and there and making life a little easier. All right, I hope that helps. Later.